Hey everybody, welcome to the fourth episode of the Wiley Wire. Today we're going to cover the fraud that's run rampant across the country. We know it blew up in Minnesota, but it's the same playbook across the states. There's so many independent journalists out there covering it. We're also going to cover Greenland and why the U.S. is actually interested in Greenland. We're going to cover the NFL playoffs, my picks. Some of these contracts are just out of control in the MLB, and we're going to break down the top 10 greatest NBA players of all time. You know who number one is, but 2 through 10 is going to cause a big debate. Welcome to the Wiley Wire. Welcome to segment one of the Wiley Wire. We're going to dive into the fraud. The more the fraud comes out, the more the protests go up. I think they're just trying to create a diversion, because the house of cards is crumbling and it's like, we're going to go down fighting. Tim Walz keeps doubling, tripling, quadrupling down. Just come out and say, stop protesting. Stop protesting ICE. Let law enforcement do their job. He can even say, I don't agree with it if he wants to. But he's got to say that it's a constitutional right for law enforcement to be there. You can't lie and say it isn't. He keeps lying and saying it isn't. And he's causing aggression. It's causing people to think that people are going to be knocking down their doors and taking them out of their houses if they're a legal resident. It's just rhetoric. And the more the fraud comes out, the more the rhetoric happens. So I think he's just trying to save his own ass at this point. Like I said last episode, don't go to these protests. You're putting your life at risk, number one. All you're doing is just covering for criminals. You're not covering for immigrant criminals. You're covering for the politician criminals. You should be protesting where all the money went in Minnesota. You should be protesting where all the money went for the homeless people in California. You should be protesting why, reported Chelsea Clinton made $50 million from U.S. aid. You should be looking at things like that. Find out what that's about. Protest why they're saying Social Security for the last 15 years has been bankrupt, but really it's been stolen from for the last 25, 30 years. So that's why Social Security has a problem. You should go into why the U.S. has trillions and trillions in national debt. It's because the politicians are stealing from us. These crappy little companies that people are opening 50 hospice offices in a building, 50 transportation offices in a building. And then there's a report in California, it's got to be verified, but there was like 30 hospice offices in one building. Why would you want the same type of business that competes against each other in the same office, like 30 of them? And nobody's there. Some of them don't have signs. It's a joke. So just keep your eyes open and watch. When one thing does one thing, what's the other thing do? We have protests, they're ramping up, the fraud's being exposed. It goes hand in hand. The more you can take attention away from the fraud, they don't care about violence. They want violence. They want Trump to do the Insurrection Act. I think he's almost forced to do it at this point because he's got to protect the citizens of Minnesota. He's got to protect the ICE agents. He has to, because those people in the federal government and in the government in Minnesota, that's their duty to protect the citizens. That's why they're elected. So if the citizens are going to feel unsafe, law enforcement is going to feel unsafe. You can't do that. That's insurrection. You're going to get taken by the feds fast, and Trump has no other choice but to have you court-martialed if you're going to continue to do that. So that's my take on it. I'm going to continue to cover it. God bless some of these independent journalists, because they're doing a tough job. Now, they're just going in on a routine 2-day trip and finding millions in fraud. We'll continue to cover it, but as U.S. citizens, keep your eyes open. We can't have politicians coming in worth $35,000 and be worth $50 million in 3 years. The money's going somewhere through fake LLCs, fake donations, shipping the money out of the country and offshore accounts. It's not fair to us. It's not fair to taxpayers. It's not fair to people that have family members that lost their lives in the military. fighting wars, World War II veterans. My grandpa was a World War II veteran. I mean, he's rolling in his grave. You can see what's going on right now. So that's it. I'm just going to wait to see what else comes out. There's probably a ton more coming out, and we'll get to that. But our next segment is going to talk about Greenland and the reasons why the United States wants Greenland. So we'll get to that in segment 2. We're back with segment 2 of the Wiley Wire. We're going to talk quickly about Greenland. Some of the research on Greenland has shown that it's not the first time we've wanted Greenland, and it's not the first time we've made sit-down, closed-door offers for Greenland. Even in 1940, President Truman offered $100 million in gold for Greenland. In World War II, when Germany took over Denmark, because Denmark owns Greenland, when Germany took over Denmark or invaded Denmark, the U.S. actually put their military in Greenland and protected it. That was the deal with Denmark. We have bases there. We have a new base that was built in 2023. So our foot is not in the door. It's like we're living in Greenland. Denmark just owns it. So the people of Greenland, nothing's going to happen to them as far as an invasion or anything. We're just going to take Greenland over. Because if we don't, Russia and China are going to take it over. It's going to happen. We have to take it over. We're already there. We already have our military bases there. Reasons why the U.S. wants Greenland. Natural resources. You have oil, gas, minerals. So there's a lot of things there that will help us. And national security, the expansion of having our full control of Greenland is just monumental. Same as Venezuela. It's like getting the oil in Venezuela. We'll have our footprint on the entire country of Greenland. We are running it. We're living there. So that's basically how we got to look at it. We have to take over Greenland in a very nice way where the people can still continue to live how they live, have their own way of life. We're just continue to do what we do in Greenland, but basically run the country. I'm 100% for it. One day you can look at this video and I'm sure we'll already be there. And I hope I'm proven right. And I hope that the people of Greenland are actually happy in their own country and they're happy the United States have took it over. But that's been taking Greenland. Again, we have to understand, to be an American, you have to do what's best for America. That's it. I don't care what's best for another country. I don't want anything bad to happen in other countries. I'm not for countries getting taken over, but we have to do what's in our best interests. So if we're already involved in Greenland and have been involved in Greenland and protected Greenland since 1940s, and it's in our best interests, and it's also the door open for Russia or China, you got to do what's best for Greenland. But you also got to do what's best for the United States. And we're the best thing for Greenland, the United States, not China, not Russia. So that's my take on it. We got to take Greenland. We got to do it where we do pay money, and Greenland's is happy about the deal, or I should say Denmark is happy with the deal. So that's my take on Greenland. We'll be back with segment 3 of the Wiley Wire. We're going to cover the top 10 greatest NBA players of all time. We know who number 1 is, but we're going to break it down. A lot of people are going to be hitting me up when they see this list, but this is what I think. Welcome to segment 3 of the Wiley Wire. I know everybody's been waiting for this, the top 10 greatest NBA players of all time. I will start with the honorable mention who did not make the list. It's hard not to put him in there, but Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon, one of the best post-up players of all time, some of the best footwork you'll ever see, still teaches guys in the NBA 2 titles, 2 NBA Finals MVPs, Defensive Player of the Year. It was somebody you just didn't want to face, especially when the Bulls were at their greatest point on the road and you had to play the Rockets on that West Coast swing. That was a tough game. I haven't looked up the record for the Bulls playing the Rockets but I'm sure it's not great. And if they did win, it was a super close game. So kudos to Hakeem Olajuwon. He should have been on the list, but I just couldn't get him in there. So he's an honorable mention. I'll go the next player on the list, Shaquille O'Neal, number 10. Now, if he could hit his free throws, he'd be way higher on the list. But there's a lot of things with Shaquille O'Neal. So 4 championships, 3 NBA finals, 3 finals MVPs, 1 MVP. He was the most dominant force ever in the NBA around the rim. Nobody like Shaq. He couldn't hit his free throws, and the league started doing the hack of Shaq. So everybody remembers that. If you're older, you remember they'd actually have goons on the bench that never got any minutes, but when you played Shaq, he'd get the most minutes he'd got the whole year because they used his fouls to get him on the line. So if he could shoot a free throw, he'd be, I don't know, I wouldn't say top 4 maybe. So he might have more championships if he could shoot free throws. But 4 championships is a lot. 3 finals MVPs, 1 MVP. He was just a nuisance in the paint. So Shaq's number 10. Number 9 is LeBron James. Here's the reasoning. I can't stand the flops. The league's soft. He's lasted like 20 years to get most points. And if you take like Jordan, some of the top great guys, and you put their peak 15 years, they all outscore LeBron. Jordan does by over 1,000 points. But he's got 4 finals MVPs, Cavaliers, Lakers, and Miami. I fought all these young kids for so long. It pisses me off. No offense to LeBron James. He's a great player, but he did this to himself. He was cool, and then all of a sudden, 23, you just don't do that. It's like in hockey, you don't wear 99. You wear 99 in hockey, and it's like, who's this guy? Gretzky? Don't wear 99. You don't wear 23. So he came out wearing 23, and right off the bat, he was a huge Jordan fan. So the comparison started. Then he started saying he's the king and all that. It just wasn't a good move for him. But it had no relevance of why he's 9. I don't like the flopping. I think it hurt him. His overall perception, it hurt him. Jumping the teams hurt him. Going back to Cleveland, that title was amazing. If he didn't do that and stayed on Miami and went to the Lakers, that would have hurt him. But he went back to Cleveland and won that title. It was great. But Kyrie Irving was huge help with that. Huge help in that playoff. But overall, 40,000 points. I don't think he would score 40,000 in the 90s because you get hacked like crazy. Just look at some of the videos. They wouldn't let that happen. Talent-wise, court vision, not the greatest shooter, but he can shoot a little bit. Driving to the hoop, great defender. He just had those moments in the league where, like in the All-Star game where Kobe was slapping the floor and wanted to guard him and he passed it right away. That's why he's 9. He has the talent to be 1. If he had Jordan's or Kobe's dog in him, he'd be 1. But he just doesn't have it. He's so talented. How do you blame a guy that got $100 million before he even stepped foot in the NBA? If, LeBron James had a great career. He's still playing, obviously. He's number 9 for me. I know a lot of kids born after 2000 get pissed, but it wasn't the same league. I just don't see him higher than the guys I have. Next, I'm going to go with Tim Duncan. 5 championships, 3 finals MVPs, 2 MVPs, most consistent player. I saw a quote from Jordan saying he is one of the greatest leaders in the NBA. That says a lot. Look at those championship teams the Spurs had, and he was just every bit of, from a leadership standpoint, just doing all the right things, making the right plays. He was a great passer. Fundamentals, you want like down low when they could be almost the same. He was just amazing. So Tim Duncan's number 8, 5 championships. He led that team. And there were some great players on that team as well, but he was a centerpiece. 4 of those championships without David Robinson. Tim Duncan, number 8. Number 7, Larry Legend, Larry Bird. I think he'd be higher if it wasn't for those back problems because he played where he couldn't even move like day of game, and then he'd be out there with the heat packs on his back, and he'd just play. He just couldn't do it anymore. But 3 championships, 3 MVPs. Probably they say Jordan win from Bird, biggest trash talker of all time, and he'd back it up. There's a story of the 3-point shootout where he came in the locker room and just dogged everybody and won the 3-point shootout because he knew he was going to win. And it's a pretty good story. You should look it up. Larry Bird and the Celtics became contenders when he came along, and it really grew the NBA. Celtics, Lakers in the 80s. Larry Bird's number 7. Number 6, Wilt Chamberlain. You have the theory of who did he play against, but look Wilt Chamberlain up and see the sports he played other than basketball. Track and field, pole vault. You got to see this guy's athleticism. It's unmatched. You got to check this out. Look up his videos of Wilt Chamberlain outside of basketball, sports he's played. Then you kind of look differently on, okay, maybe he didn't play against the best competition, but he was a physique. Just look at this picture I have. Look at the guy. He scored 100 points in a game. 4 MVPs. He averaged 50 points a game one year. 50 points a game in 1 year. Wilt Chamberlain, you got to go 6 with him, in my opinion. Bill Russell, 11 championships. The only reason he's 5 is I think the NBA has gotten better. That's the thing about when people say they're the greatest player of all time. Jordan never said he was the greatest. Legends in different eras. You can never compare yourself to them because you never played in that era. He always says Bill Russell has 11 championships. It's just insane. 5 MVPs, the ultimate winner. He was a great defender, part of one of the greatest basketball dynasties of all time. So Bill Russell, number 5. Magic, number 4. 5 championships, 3 MVPs, 6'9" point guards. When he won his first championship, he played center, but then he moved to point guard. He was covering everybody. And his court vision is unmatched. And 3 finals MVPs. And the thing about Magic is he was just such a great player to watch. The greatest people in the NBA are the people that, it doesn't matter what city you're from, you still want to watch them. No one ever hated Magic Johnson. Some people didn't like him when you're playing against him, but no one ever hated Magic Johnson. He was just having fun playing basketball, revolutionized the game, made a 6'9" guard possible. So Magic Johnson, number 4. Number 3, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. 6 MVPs, most ever. 6 championships. All-time leading scorer for decades until LeBron passed him. And I'll have to say, he's a longevity guy, played a lot of years. LeBron played a lot of years. So those guys are most likely going to get up in the points. Karl Malone played a lot of years, is up there in the points. All great players. The league LeBron plays it's a softer league. You go to the free throw line a lot more. You get a lot of easier buckets. Defense isn't as good. He's scoring 150 points a game now. It's less physical. But more fouls are being called. But to hold the scoring title for that long, for decades until LeBron got him, you got to go with Kareem, especially with 6 championships. Number 2. This is the one that always blows my mind. Like, people constantly compare LeBron to Michael. LeBron's not even in the top 5 in my book. The only person I've ever saw that you can say has a close comparison to Jordan is Kobe. He just watched Jordan. He copied all Jordan's moves. He contacted Jordan all the time. He was just trying to get better. All Jordan's tricks were from Kobe. Adapted all those tricks. The post-up move, feeling the defender on you. Kobe Bryant, 5 championships, 1 finals MVP. He was clutch even when Shaq was on the team for some of those championships. He was hitting some huge shots, hitting some big free throws. But 5 championships, there's not anybody other than Jordan I'd want the ball in his hands with time winding down than Kobe Bryant. Jordan would be 1, Kobe would be 2. 81-point game, especially when he was at the end of his career, he scored 81. Come back from Achilles injury and score 81 points. Kobe Bryant, number 2. And obviously, number 1, Michael Jordan, the GOAT. There's no debate in it. It's hard to even fathom somebody even have this argument against me, unless you're young and you just haven't seen him play. But you just watch all the players, like the top players, even Larry Bird, top Hall of Famers, like Magic Johnson's on this list, Larry Bird's on this list. And there's guys that were close to making the list but didn't make it. What they say about Jordan, they're all just, he was different, another level. 6 championships, 6 finals MVPs, 5 MVPs, 10 scoring titles, just unmatched defense. He just defined winning. There's nothing else you can say about him. I'm going to go through some of his crazy things. I want to put these up on the screen. This one's just funny. The load management. When you go to an NBA game, number one, the prices you're paying for these tickets. See guys just jack threes up constantly. I have a lot of problems with the NBA right now. Number one, they call way too many fouls. It's almost like I can't watch anymore. Everything's a foul. And the flopping, they're stop at the flopping. You can review the flopping now. Does the 100 steps on a shot attempt. When I was in high school playing basketball, they called every travel. I played point guard in high school. They call everything. And nowadays, you can hop around, do a hop step back, take a shot. It's pretty crazy that the non-travel calls. And the foul calls, everything is a foul. These guys have the best trainers ever. They all have chefs in the locker rooms. I did a Blackhawks camp, and I got to be in the locker room playing with some of the ex-Blackhawks, and they have like chefs, like jacuzzi tubs, anything you want's there. And back in the day, like old Chicago Stadium, they didn't have any of that. And it was like, they used to put the visiting locker room like ice cold for the visiting team. Playing at the old Chicago Stadium. All being said, 82 games, 86, 87, 82 games, 87, 88, 80 games, 88, 89, 82 games, 89, 90, 90, 91, 82 games, 91, 92, 80 games, 92, 93, 78 games, 93, 94, 127 baseball games. That's a lot. 95, 96, 82 games, 96, 97, 82 games, 97, 98, 82 games. 40 plus years old. Came back after 2 years off, 3 years off, 02-03 season, 40 plus years old. I don't know if he was 40, 41, maybe even 42, but he played 82 games. Let's go with 5 seconds left on the shot clock or in the game. Here are the numbers. Jordan is 47% on those shot attempts. Steph Curry, one of the most clutch shooters of all time, 34%. Kobe Bryant, 24%. LeBron James, 18%. I'm not comparing him to LeBron. LeBron's still in this list. He's fourth. I'm not comparing him to LeBron. LeBron shows up because he keeps putting himself out there. Another funny one. Nobody buys retired athlete shoes. Nobody. When somebody retires, no one buys their shoes anymore. They buy mics. I got a pair on right now. We buy mics. We do. It's what we do. Everyone buys them. I golf with a 7-year-old guy, and he put spikes on his mics to play golf. No 7-year-old guy is going to be wearing LeBron James. Maybe some 2000 and after kid born wore 2000. Let's call it 2040. He'll be wearing LeBron James golf shoes. I don't know, but I doubt it. Let's see. MJ is the only player to win MVP, Finals MVP, Defensive Player of the Year in the same season. He's the only player ever to do that. And he did it 4 times. We don't have to play any more clips. I could just play that one, and that's enough. But we'll do more. 6 for 6 in finals, 3-peat 2 times, and never choked in a series. The GOAT status is undeniable. Wilt Chamberlain has the second most scoring titles with 7. Michael Jordan had 7 scoring titles in a row. MJ has multiple 60-point games without a 3-pointer. Can you imagine somebody nowadays scoring 60 points just hitting 2s and free throws? It'd still be hard with all the fouls being called. All the fouls being called now, I can't see anybody doing that. It's unbelievable. MJ has multiple 60-point games without a 3-pointer. MJ went 9 straight seasons without missing a game. That's 738 straight games. No rest days. MJ had 537 30-point games. 537. The rest of the Bulls franchise has 97 combined. He also has 165 40-point games. The rest of the franchise has 89. In the playoffs, he has more 50-point games, 8, Then games with less than 20, 6. MJ has never lost an NBA Final Series, an NCAA tournament, or Olympics. Think about that. He's never lost an NCAA championship, an Olympics, or an NBA Finals. Unheard of. Jordan, obviously knows I'm going to pick Jordan. Anybody that knows me knows I'm going to pick Jordan. Anybody that's a newbie out there that thought there was a chance it'd be LeBron, sorry, he's not. I'm glad he made the list. LeBron's good. Trust me, LeBron's great. And maybe if LeBron played in the 90s, he might have been a lot tougher, and he could have been one of the greats. It's nothing against LeBron. It's a different era, but the fact that he comes out and says he is, I don't like that. Jordan's never said he is. There's that one dunk. If anybody remembers when he was in Miami and Jordan was in the stadium and he kind of dunked and looked at him, I was like, oh, man. That's when it was on. But again, LeBron's a great player. Olajuwon, there's a lot of other players too that I'm going to mention right now that revolutionized the game. For Robinson, Pete Maravich. Look up Pete Maravich dribbling. You talk about some guys like White Chocolate or those guys. They all got it from Pete Maravich. You got to look at Pete Maravich videos of him dribbling a basketball. It's insane. I wish Malone and Stockton got a title because they were unreal players. They played together their whole career. Other than Malone went somewhere else for one final season, they just had to go through Jordan. And think about all the players that tried to go through Jordan that didn't get a title. Olajuwon could have been one of them, but Jordan left. But we got Malone and Stockton, Ewing and the Knicks. They couldn't get through them. There's a lot of players that were really Barkley. They're really good. They had to go through Mike, and that's a hard thing to do. Some of them aren't on this list because they don't have a title. I can't put anybody on this list that doesn't have a title, and that sucks for Barkley, Malone, Stockton. But you don't have a title, you can't be on there. But I will do later in the year towards the playoffs, top 2 guys in each position in history. And I have a feeling some of those guys will be mentioned. But that's segment 3 of the Wiley Wire. Thank you for watching, and we'll be back with segment 4, my NFL picks. And we're going to add a little talk about these MLB contracts. They are absurd. All right, we're back with segment 4 of the Wiley Wire. We're going to do my NFL picks this weekend. The Saturday games, Bills, Broncos. It's hard to bet against Josh Allen because he always finds a way. I'm worried about this game, but I'm going to go with Bills. Broncos, I wouldn't be surprised if the Broncos win. I think Sean Payton is going to be really prepared, but I'm going to go with the Bills on this one. The other Saturday game, San Francisco Seahawks. I want San Francisco to win really bad because I'm a Bears fan. And if the Bears win, San Francisco's got to come play again in Chicago in the cold. But I want to just take one game at a time with the Bears. But Kittle being out, that really hurts the 49ers. So unfortunately, I'm going with the Seahawks in this one. Sunday games. So that Texans defense, something about it just scares the shit out of me. Drake May has such a great season. He's done everything right. He deserves to win this game, but I'm going to go with the Texans. I just think they're going to put him to the test. They have such a dynamic defense. I'm worried about it. The only way the Patriots win this game is if CJ Stroud just plays like crap and the defense is stopping the Patriots, but the Texans can't get anything going. But other than that, I'm going with the Texans. Bears, Rams. I'm going with the Bears. I'll never bet against them. I'll never close my tab out before the game's completely over. If they're down 60 with 4 minutes left, I'm watching until the end. Caleb Williams could find a way. That being said, I'm going to the Bears. And I hope this is what happens. 49ers find a way to pull it out without Kittle. Bears beat the Rams. 49ers come into Soldier Field in the freezing cold. That would be my best scenario. But I don't really care about that. Let's just win the game, and then we'll move on. Like, a lot of people are like, hey, you want to go to the Super Bowl? I want to try to find a ticket. And I'm just like, I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to even think about it. We have one game at a time. Let's take care of the Rams, and we'll move on from there. But those are my picks. And then I'm going to get into this baseball contracts. I blasted Tucker a little bit on social media, but Tucker's a great player. He really is. He can run. He can play great right field. Talk about Gold Glove. That guy can be like a Jason Hayward outfielder. You got a Jason Hayward outfielder that can hit. He can run. He's a great outfielder. He can hit. He's left-handed bat. Like, Dodgers, for real, I'm scared of the Dodgers now. They have an unreal team now. You had Tucker, but the thing about Tucker is he's prone to injury. He's always missed. Some of it isn't his fault. I think he fouled the ball off his leg. He was out, off his knee or something. Injuries happen, but overall, like, he's a great player, but he's never had an opportunity to play 3 or 4 straight seasons where he was at his prime and he wasn't injured. So the Dodgers are taking a real big gamble with that contract because that is a lot of money. $60 million a year for Tucker. Can you imagine if some of these guys from the 90s, the average guy that hits 25 homers and strikes out 190 times a year would get like $200 million now? It's unreal. I'm an old school baseball guy. I can't stand the strikeouts. The strikeouts are crazy. Anybody that knows me, I just stopped playing baseball about a year ago. I'm a front foot hitter. I do have some power, but I'd rather get a single or a double than strike out, swing it up 2 strikes. I'm just old school. I think the game is going back to that. The strikeouts are getting annoying. The hitting coaches are teaching a different way of hitting now. The thing about Tucker is he was an old school type hitter to me. He strikes out more than I think he should, but not like the rest of the stars. So he's an unbelievable pick for the Dodgers. The Dodgers are going to be like, that was a big pickup, but for $240 million, that's a hefty price for that. There's nothing against him. It's just the amount of money. Their payroll is like $1 billion or something. And they have it all mapped out. Ohtani gets paid till he's 95 years old. He's going to be walking in a walker, still getting millions of dollars. It's not 90. I'm just goofing around, but it's probably something crazy after he retires. He gets money forever. Baseball doesn't have a salary cap, so they can just buy, but there's still an affordability aspect of it. But the Dodgers are such an exciting team. I'm a Cubs fan. I had my Dodgers experience when they invited me to a spring training. They're supposed to draft me or whatever, so I have a little soft spot for the Dodgers. They're one of the only teams. A few others were looking at me when I was playing ball. But I just like the organization. The Dodgers, time and being a kid watching Gibson. I like the Dodgers. I'm a Cubs fan. I root for the Cubs first. The Dodgers are very exciting to watch, though. Their team is just loose, and how could you not like watching Ohtani pitching and hitting? So now adding Tucker, man, that's going to be, he's not just a bat. He does everything. I have the Dodgers winning it now, and the Cubs are going to have to knock them off. The Cubs need some pitching. Cubs have a great team with Bergman now at third. I think they have the greatest infield in baseball by far, the Cubs. They just need to get their pitching's just got to be, it's got to be top notch. Justin Steele's got to come back and be a workhorse for the Cubs to get the Dodgers this year. But that's my take on baseball. The money that gets thrown around is just so wild to me. And it's going to be leading into another episode I have that I'm probably going to get in a lot of trouble for, but it's the gambling in sports. Like, just so many advertisements with gambling. We're going to do an episode on that. It might not be Tuesday. It'll probably be late next week. We're going to cover the gambling in sports and the advertising payments that gambling companies make. It's got to tie into some of these contracts because really $240 million for 4 years, nothing against Cal Tucker. If they offered me $240 million, I'd take it in a second. I'd probably hit like, in the major leagues right now, I'd probably hit like $110. I'd probably have 220 Ks. I'll take the 240 though. So they're just handing it out. Give me $1 million. I'll be the bullpen catcher. Overall, I just think it's come to the point where like something's got to give. Like these contracts are just ridiculous. They're ridiculous. So it's nothing against any of the players that get the contracts. If that's what they're going to pay you, take the money. I like Tucker, and this is not a bash on Tucker. I think he's a good player. Extremely overpaid, but I guess they have the money to do that. That's why the Cubs didn't sign him. They're not going to pay him $240 million. He's going to get $240 million somewhere else, or $220 million, or whatever. That's a wrap for episode 4 of the Wiley Wire. Thanks for watching. I'm sure I'm going to get a lot of messages about my NBA top 10 list. We're also going to get a lot of messages about my NFL picks as well. Go Bears. We'll see you next week, and we'll continue to cover the trending news. See you on Tuesday. Thanks for watching.
The Wiley Wire dives into sports, music, politics, health, and trending topics for entertainment, info, and education. Listener discretion advised. May include mature themes, explicit language, controversial views, or sensitive content. Not suitable for under 18 or all audiences. Parents, please supervise. All opinions from hosts, guests, and contributors are personal and don't reflect our official views. Information isn't guaranteed to be accurate. Do your own research and consult qualified professionals.